Perhaps there is no more duplicitous of a member of Congress than AOC. But I think maybe that's unfair because you can certainly shout out Jamie Raskin and Adam Schiff. But AOC is livid because far left activists demanded that she call what's going on in Israel-Palestine a genocide against the Palestinians. AOC, of course, will not do this. And so activists confront her with their phones recording and say, will you call what is happening in Palestine a genocide? And she goes, this is effed up. How dare you? The reason is about 2 months ago, or it's about a month ago, AOC defended other people calling what's going on in the Hamas war a genocide against Palestinians, but refused to say it herself, being accused of dodging the question. Now, some outlets say AOC defends the word genocide, the use of the word, and differs with other members of Congress. But of course, she herself would not say it. And so activists got angry, confronted her, and she snapped. Here's the best part. The reason why this is a story, AOC is famous for her post about how activism is supposed to make people uncomfortable, and you just need to accept it. Accept it, AOC. This is what you get. You reap what you sow. The New York Post reports AOC snaps at NYC protesters at movie theater demanding she call Israel's military campaign in Gaza a genocide. It's effed up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's the video. We will play for you and you can see it for yourself. AOC unable to handle a confrontation over, well, I mean, she claims these are her political values, but the important thing to understand here, aside from the hypocrisy, AOC was very big on the Israel-Palestine stuff before getting elected. After she gets elected to Congress, she moderated her position, still rather left, but actually began to more defend Israel. Many far-left activists took issue with this back in, this was what, 2018, 2019? Here's the clip.
You refuse to call it a genocide in front of everybody.
I need you to understand
this is not okay.
There's a genocide happening. You're not actively against it.
You're lying.
I'm lying.
You're not.
You're lying. He said there's a genocide happening, and she said you're lying. Now, hold on there a minute. Far-left activists are probably going to take that to be her saying there's no genocide happening, but I don't know what she's saying. I think she's trying to claim she did call it a genocide.
What are you talking about?
Because now you can't say it's a genocide or what you're deciding on a political base. If you can't call it a genocide, then how do you say it? We're not lying.
We're not lying.
You've been
We're not
saying it in interviews. It's insane. You haven't been calling it a genocide. Don't tell me I'm lying. Then just say it's a genocide. Just say it. Over 30,000 people are dead, AOC. You can't just say it for once. Just say the word. That's it. That's all we want you to say.
Say the word.
Or you're not angry about people confronting you publicly. You can't call it genocide. Over 30,000 people have died.
Stop. Okay? Stop.
Stop. Stop. That's her fiance or husband. Here's where AOC loses it.
Cut it, and you're going to cut this, and you're going to clip this so that it's completely out of context. I already said that it was, and y'all are just going to pretend that it wasn't over and over again. It's fucked up, man. And you're not helping these people, and you're not helping them.
You refuse to.
I already said that it was. Okay, I'll take it. That's a statement where AOC says what is going on in Palestine is a genocide.
Yeah.
She won't say the word genocide, but let her say that. This is the famous tweet from AOC in its full context. She said, what if activists aren't PR firms for politicians and their demands are because police budgets are exploding? Community resources are shrinking to bankroll it, and people brought this up for ages, but it wasn't until they said defund that comfortable people started paying attention to brutality. The thing that critics of activists don't get is that they tried playing the polite language policy game, and all it did was make them easier to ignore. It wasn't until they made folks uncomfortable that there was traction to do anything, even if it wasn't their full demands. The whole point of protesting is to make people uncomfortable. Activists take that discomfort with the status quo and advocate for concrete policy changes. Popular support often starts small and grows. To folks who complain, protest demands make others uncomfortable. That's the point. Cry more, AOC. Take a look at this. I love this. Huffington Post. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez dodges question about genocide label in Israel-Gaza conflict. The progressive congresswoman wouldn't directly say whether she believed Israel's unrelenting bombardment of Gaza was a genocide, but she defended its use. Why won't she say it? Now look, I'm gonna play this video clip for you. Here's one. Harry's Place tweeted, "Is it possible to care about Palestine too much?" I don't necessarily need to give a trigger warning. I'll give you a volume warning. I don't know how loud this one's going to be, but you've been warned.
You should be enraged! You should be enraged! You should be enraged at the genocide that is going on!
You better calm down, young lady. You were calm before.
Calm down, young lady.
Yeah, you need to chill.
I don't need to chill!
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't! There's nothing chill about it. What's going on
you-
now?
you-
Why don't you just get out of here? Get out of here! You should be enraged! You should be enraged! You should be enraged at the genocide that is going on!
All right, now that I've played it for you twice, the issue that I often bring up, I have concerns about what is going on between Israel and Gaza. I've heard the arguments, and I am rather tepid on the issue. And let me tell you, Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th, and this has been a war that's been going on for a very, very long time. It didn't just start yesterday. It didn't start in October. And you can go back to 1967. You can go back to the Balfour Declaration, all that stuff. And it's like war in the region, baby. One side appears to be winning. But I can keep it really simple for you before I give any more opinions on this. I am not Israel. I am not Palestine. We are the United States. And I'm more concerned about our southern border than what's going on over there. That being said, if you want to criticize the Israeli military, you're allowed to do it. If you want to criticize the deaths of civilians and collateral damage, by all means, please do so. There were atrocities committed by Hamas, which has plurality or majority support slightly in Gaza. And these are people who went in and just started killing random people because they're all colonizers. My point is this. There is certainly a war going on with debates on all sides over who is right and who is wrong. And I'm just sitting here being like, don't know, don't care. Seriously. I am an American citizen. I care about what's going on with America. I want to secure our borders. I want to bring back jobs. I don't understand why these people are so obsessed with this country. But I'll tell you what triggers me and fills me with blinding rage. Cult members, zealots. That pisses me off. You know why? Well, the humanitarian crisis in Yemen is considered to be one of the worst humanitarian crises ever. You've got Burma, with I think hundreds of thousands being killed so far. You've, I don't know, how about the Uyghur Muslims? So when crackpot lunatics like this woman, who is a psychopath, deranged, screaming, you should be upset. I'm like, oh, should I be upset over the Uyghur Muslims? Should I be upset over Sudan? Should I be upset over Boko Haram? Should I be upset over the cartels? Should I be upset over CBP trafficking children into this country? Should I be upset over Burma? Should I be upset over insert every single humanitarian crisis on the planet? You psychopaths need to shut the up. You're allowed to be upset about any one of those issues. You're allowed to be an activist on any one of those issues, but don't lie to me and say it's a genocide and that's why we're upset. No, if the issue was genocide, you'd be upset over a whole bunch of other countries. Now, of course, I have friends who are very, very critical of Israel. They're allowed to be. And I'm not talking about them when they say, hey, look, this airstrike killed these people. I'm like, look, man, there's war going on. Criticize them all day and night. My point is, when I ask people like this, she's screaming and ranting, do you care about any other country? They don't know. They just don't. And that's what annoys the hell out of me. Zealotry. Psychotic zealotry. Now, if there's somebody who is Jewish or Israeli and they're upset at these activists, well, I get it. They're being targeted by them. If there's an American conservative who is not Israeli, has no ties to the region, and is ranting about Israel, I'd be equally as concerned. But you don't really seem to see a lot of that. You do see, well, I should say, put it this way. You don't see as much of it. It exists. Don't get me wrong. Politicians coming out saying things like Israel is the Holy Land or whatever, because Christian and Jews have a religious interest in the region. Totally get it. That's probably why people are so psychotically obsessed. But I'll make this argument all day and night, dude. I'm an American citizen. I care as much about Israel as I do about, I don't know, Burma. And that is very little. I'm concerned with it because I don't like people dying. I'm concerned with it because these things can bleed out into larger conflict, which can, it could spark wars, serious wars. The Houthi rebels bombing cargo ships in the Red Sea is very, very bad for international trade and could result in escalation of war in the region. Not a fan. But that's about it. I'm not going to go protest for a country I don't live in. I am not going to demand a politician call it a genocide or not. I think that's absurd. I'm concerned that our politicians don't care about our southern border. I'm more concerned that AOC is in favor of importing criminal aliens. So I'm not here to get into an argument over Israel, Palestine, or anything like that. But I do think it's fair to point out people are obsessed. There is this derangement pertaining to Israel, which is just mind-blowing to me. When, it's funny because we get it in both directions. People accusing us of hating Israel and supporting the Jews. It's just the funniest thing. They're like, did you know that Timcast IRL, 20% of their guests are Jewish? And I'm like, well, they're a religious group in this country who have overlapping political views with many Christians. So not surprised that's happening. Okay. But then you get people who attack, like say Cassandra Fairbanks, who's very critical of Israel. And they say that Timcast opposes. No, I'll tell you right now, Timcast doesn't care. I don't care. This lady, you can go, why don't you go to Five Guys, order 5 double cheeseburgers and just slam all of them and eat. I don't care what you do. I don't care whether you're having a good time eating cheeseburgers or in the street screaming about a country you've never been to. Y'all are in a cult. That's the wildest thing about it. Why can't these people be so fervent about the country we live in? Whatever. You reap what you sow, AOC. I'll leave it there. Next segment is coming up at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimcastIRL. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.